Eagles fly. Let's peep the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the Dark Jive. Drop the stats on them. Drop the facts on them. Spur King, baby. Let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight here with the post-draft show. I'm with my man, the co-host with the co-most, Pat Sandlin. That's right. And we're coming to talk about this Eagles draft that we witnessed last week. How do you guys like it? You like it? Love it? Don't like it? What? Let me know in the comments. Oh, here I am. Oh, there I am. Hi, what's going on? I forgot. Didn't have the camera on. All right, guys. So we're back this week, and we're here to talk about exactly what our Philadelphia Eagles did last week. We had great draft grades. I am not as well-versed on the college players as my co-host Pat is, but I seem to like what I'm hearing about the picks that we've gotten. Pat has a different idea, but we'll go over it and we'll see. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you will see that I have those picks scrolling across the bottom, at least everyone up until the 5th round. I have some more picks from the 6th round on. But in the 1st round, as you know, we got Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback, Toledo, penciled in as a starter. The number one cornerback prospect in the draft, and we have him. And we didn't have to give up any draft capital to secure the bag, so to speak. We got a premier player, and that's what we want. We wanted, at least that's what I wanted. I wanted a starter with that first pick. And that's exactly what I think we got. I think we got a starter. I think we got an immediate starter. And even if he is not ready, I think he needs to be ready. He needs to go the first day of the season so that he can take we can get the growing pains out of the way and he'll be sharp. Now, hopefully he just comes in and just, he's just ready to go and he's ready to play at a high level. If not, though, I still think that it's valuable to get him in there immediately and let him grow or learn on the job because we're going to need him for years to come. So let's get him out there and see what he can do. From all indications on how he performed in college, and I know he played against lesser talent, but more notably, his performance at the Senior Bowl against some of the top wide receivers in the country, they said he did more than hold his own there. So that's encouraging to know that and know that we have him now and we have a young corner to succeed Darius Slay and, Bradbury. We've already he's out, right? We've already got him out. Like his bags,
his bags, his packs. He's waiting to get that phone call from Howie. Say, listen, man, we appreciate your service to the Philadelphia Eagles, but your tenure here is now gone. We are trading you to Toronto Argonauts.
I don't know. I was, I'm happy. Let me just say that. And Bradbury served us well for his time, except for last year. He had a horrible year last year. And I was kind of defending him because I was thinking that, it might be more of the scheme than it was him. I know everybody, to the naked eye, he just looked as though he had aged overnight. And he looked like he didn't have it anymore. And I'm not so sure that is the case, but I don't know if we'll get a chance or he'll get a chance to prove himself here next year because, like I said, with all indications, he looks like he's on his way out. But, hey, the great thing is not only did we get one great secondary player, but we got two in the 2nd round when we drafted, I think, the 3rd or 4th rated DB of the draft, and that was Cooper DeJean, or DeJean, or DeJean, that's going to be known in Philadelphia. DeJean. We got Cooper DeJean, cornerback. Some are saying that he may be moved to safety. In any instance, this guy is a player. He lays the wood. He can cover. He has ball skills, a lot of football talent, and I'm looking forward to both these young men in that secondary doing what they do best. So without further ado, let's get down to what we do best. and that is taking a shot. All right, so you're watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around that is by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team that is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Don't get it twisted. This isn't all about alcohol. It isn't. It isn't. It's about a adult beverage. And if you're an adult and you're drinking a beverage, that's what we're talking about. So I'm an adult, and this is the beverage I'm drinking, and that is my Monster. So Pat's adult beverage is going to be Blanton's bourbon. And if you guys want to partake in your favorite adult beverage, do so. Just let me know in the chat room what you guys are going to do. So here's to our Philadelphia Eagles and their splendid, at least in my eyes. And we're going to take this shot to the Philadelphia Eagles and Howie. Here we go. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the
All right, so I babbled long enough. Let me hear from Pat. Pat is the resident college expert. What did you think about the draft, Pat? Why are you bitching? Why are you bitching,
The reason why I'm bitching. Yes, did we take the number one overall consensus pick Quinton Mitchell at corner? Yes, we did. Do we have to trade down to get him? No. Do we sit back and be patient to get him? Yes. But who was on the board at that time? Teron Arnold, Nate Wiggins from Clemson. Even Cooper DeJean, I'm calling him DeJean. It was available in that first round, and we went with a player that's from a lesser division, lesser competition, to put us at ease that he's going to supplant James Bradbury and Darius Slay. I had a feeling of us doing it what we did back in a while ago in 2016 when we took a kid out of Washington that tore his Achilles, and Sidney Jones, who was penciled in as like the number 1 or number 2 corner coming out in the draft. If he didn't tear his Achilles, he would have been drafted early in the first round. You know what? I can't even go that route. All
right. Don't even try it.
I cannot even go that route. The thing about it is, Q, we're gonna call him Q for now on. His name in Philly is gonna be Q. All right. Q Mitchell is a dog. He gets after it. He has makeup speed. If you go to his highlights in his 40 time, like Shell would say, a 4.33 is nothing to like. Oh my goodness, he's slow. No, that 4.33 is Deion Sanders level. All right. Deion Sanders is clocked in running a 4.3 flat. He says he ran a 4.21, but he's clocked in and ran a 4.3 flat. So he's in the realm of Deion Sanders at a weight of 200 pounds. That's kind of unheard of. That athleticism is kind of unheard of. So I got high hopes for Q Mitchell to come in here and work his tail off to live up to the height. Live up to the height and work your butt off and be the player that you can be. Because regardless of draft status, if you don't come in here and work, those 5th round, 6th round, 7th round picks will outwork you. We saw it last year. What's the wide receiver from the Rams? Puda, I don't even know his name. Puda, I know his first name is Puda or something like that, right? He's one of the best receivers in the league as a rookie. You couldn't stop him. He was a 5th round draft pick, 199 overall. So it doesn't matter where you're picked. It's what you do after you're picked. You got to get into the actual game. You got to work your behind off. You got to go into this like you're the last pick in a draft or an undrafted free agent. You got to go in there and say, you know what? I got everything to prove, nothing to lose. Now I told you Cooper DeJean, because we gonna call him DeJean. We ain't call him DeJean. DeJean. He's a Big Ten corner, white guy. White guy's nice. Pause. He has the skills to be a corner, a nickel, outside corner, which I think they're gonna give him all the opportunity to try his self at. Because you already got your safety set for right now, CJ, GJ, and Reed Blankenship. So they're gonna give him the opportunity for that nickel position, and sometimes the outside position if Slay or Mitchell is not ready or they're hurt. He has that ability to be a lockdown corner. Again, we go back to the 40 times, and in his pro day he ran a 4.4, but he's coming off an injury. He's coming off a shin injury, where they say, you should not run, and he still ran a 4.45. Without that injury, I'm pretty much he ran the 4.3s, and we say, he's a first round draft talent. He was number 4 on the board overall as a cornerback, not safety. Like everybody say, he needs to go to the safety spot. As a cornerback, the top 4 was Q Mitchell, Teron Arnold, Nate Wiggins, and Cooper DeJean. That's the top 4 corners in this draft.
And we have 2 of them.
Yes, we do.
So in Q's defense, the story has emerged that Al Saban was looking to grab him. And
Nick
the
Saban.
only reason he was looking for him in the transfer portal.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, Saban, but he was looking for him in the transfer portal. But Q was loyal to the Toledo program for sticking with him when he had trouble with grades. They were like the only school that believed him and gave him a chance. So he stayed loyal and did not enter himself into the transfer portal, because had he done so, he would have been playing against top talent. He would have been playing for Alabama. Alabama wanted him. So that says something. When Nick Saban wanted him, I'm sorry, Deion. Deion said Al Saban. I'm sorry.
It's
I
that,
said
it's that
Al.
monster, man. It's that monster.
It's
got
that
got
monster drink. Got me. All right, but when Nick Saban wants you, that says a lot about your potential, right?
Yeah.
He only brings in the grade A talent. So I feel comfortable with that, with the way he played on the level. And if he was playing in against lesser competition, then he's supposed to do what he did. If he was a top tier talent and he was playing against lesser talent, then that's exactly what you want to see when a grade A talent is playing against lesser talent. There was no touchdowns caught on him last year. I don't know the exact number of pass breakups, but there was plenty. And he was recruited or wanted by Nick Saban, one of the best coaches in college.
Yeah,
so I'm feeling good.
Most forced incompletions in the football subdivision last year. Dark Knight, just like you said, Nick Saban wanted him. He was waiting for him to go in the transfer pool. You gotta understand something. We look at these players at these top-notch schools, but some of the players that ever graced their presence on this field has been from the subdivisions. Jerry Rice,
Yep.
who's one of the greatest, if not the greatest football player in NFL history, came from Mississippi Valley State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Terrell Owens came from HBCU. When you go back and look at Randy Moss, came from a Marshall. Marshall program is not considered a powerhouse in NCAA. Like, these are players that put stats on a field in college, and they said they're not going to do nothing in the pros. They come to the pros and they dominate. Not only they dominate, they become Hall of Famers.
So that's what we're hoping with Q Mitchell, and we got him. And it was incredible to me because Howie did not use any draft capital to move up and get him. And that was the big rumor going into the draft, was that Howie was looking to move up to pick Q at maybe around 12. He thought he'd be gone. But the way that the draft unfolded, Howie was patient enough not to make the trade up, and he was rewarded with Q being there at the number 22 pick. So I thought that was incredible. I thought that was just as big. That was the biggest non-move that Howie made in the first round in a long time. Just being patient and still having a guy that you had your eye on drop to you at your original position. Then again, Cooper DeJean second round. So we have 2 top corners. I know some want to move him to safety. I don't know. I trust Nick. I mean, I trust Fangio and what he's going to do with the defense. So wherever he sees fit to play Cooper, I'm going to be comfortable with that because we're looking to Fangio to save this, resurrect this defense because it was horrible last year. So anytime you can find a place to put Cooper DeJean on the field to display his athletic ability and his football skills, I'm all for it. But we have 2 top-notch secondary players from the draft, and you know that's cheap labor. And then in the third round, they picked Jalix Hunt, an edge rusher from Houston Christian. What do you think about that pick, Pat?
Swing and a miss. Listen, don't get me twisted. Like, he might be a DeMarcus Lawrence type edge rusher that haven't reached his potential until he came into the pros. He's 6'4", 252. He dominated on the subdivision level. He ran a 4.64 40-yard dash. He had a 37-inch vert as a 6'4", 250-something pound player. I mean, he has the tangibles. But in the Senior Bowl, like those, watching his, I'm not gonna say highlights because they definitely wasn't highlights. Low lights against some of the more superior offensive linemen is like it gives you a lot to be desired. He has the talent to be a very upbeat special teams guy. At 4'6", running down there at his height and his speed and weight would be ideal in a special team category. To be a starting defensive end in the NFL, I don't see it right now. I mean, were there more players available at that particular time that I wanted? Hell yes. More or less a linebacker, and his name is Peyton Wilson, who went to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But for some reason, we went and got this guy named Jalen Hunt. Now, am I upset, Dark Knight, about what I seen? Yes. You can't hit on every single draft pick, and we know Howie's track record on draft picks outside of Georgia and Alabama. They're not good. It hasn't been good.
They're not good.
It hasn't been good. If you want me to go down the line, I can go down the line for you.
No, don't go down the line, man. We're trying to feel good right now. Don't be bringing us down. Look, without further ado, let me bring in our third co-host, and that's you guys in the chat room. And the first person in the room is Dion tonight. Dion, get on my damn nerves. He says, yo, what's up? What's up, Dion? He said, Howie did a great job being patient. Second person in the room was Sean Pinckney. Just a bit, some beer, just a beer. And my man, the resident from down under, Tony Burren. Yo, Bird fan, what's up? What's up, mate? The John could take the other safety spot. That's what Dion says. That's what I thought too. But this is when he got me mad. Who the hell is Al Sabin? Don't be checking me, Dion. Don't be checking me. Jeremiah is in the house. He says, y'all thoughts on the kid from Iowa? I like him, but I don't know him.
I can talk about him real quick if you want me to. Really quick. Let you go back to do the comments. So Cooper DeJean, and we call him DeJean, Jawn, not John, Jane, or whatever you might call him, DeJean. All right. So Cooper, believe it or not, has been one of the premier corners in the Big Ten for the past 2 seasons. Not only has he been a premier corner, he's been a premier return man. So he has that ability to be I hate to say it, the next great white hope, but he actually is a legend in Iowa. His ability to be a superb athlete, to lock down your number one receiver like a Marvin Harrison, like he did. He is that type of corner. And it's surprising to see that the ability that he has can literally tilt the field in your favor.
Wow. Yes.
I've seen games. I'm not gonna say Penn State, but it was Penn State where we didn't throw to his side because he was that good. Last season he was injured against us, so we threw to that side all the time. But when he was healthy, a lot of teams didn't throw to that side because he is that good. Don't be surprised if he's starting before Mitchell, which shouldn't happen. But he does have that ability. He is that athletic.
That is huge praise. Huge praise. And hopefully he'll be the CMC of the defensive side of the ball. And what do I mean by that? Well, we hadn't seen a star white running back in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And CMC comes in and he is a superstar white running back. He's a superstar running back who happens to be white. And we just haven't seen that in a long time. That position has been dominated for years with African-American running backs. And here comes CMC, and he against all odds, he is one of the top running backs in the league. So here we are on the defensive side of the ball, same type of situation. We haven't seen a star cornerback, white cornerback, in a very, very long time. It's a position that has been, it's a position that has been predominantly manned by African-Americans, and hopefully he can come in and do what CMC did on offense on our defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
That's incredible. So we have 2 of the top 4 corners in the draft. He's not high on Jalix Hunt, the edge from Houston Christian, but like you said, we don't hit on all draft picks, and every draft pick, especially after the second round, right, are not really penciled in to be starters, right? It's very rare that you bringing in a third rounder and he's going to crack his starting lineup. So he may just be where he's expected to be. Hopefully he can contribute on special teams, and he has some growing to do, some learning to do. So maybe year 2, year 3 we can get, or maybe later on this year. I don't know. Or in the best case scenario, maybe from the jump he picks up some valuable lessons, and this is where coaching staff comes in, because it's not all about strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Just as big a part of coaching is player development. So hopefully we have a staff on defense that, not only are good on scheming and things like that, but are good in building the players up, and building those players up and teaching them the necessary skills to be successful on this level, because that's a part of the coaching staff also. So that third round, Jalix Hunt, and the next pick we got in the 4th round, we have Will Shipley, running back out of Clemson. Tell me a little bit about him, Pat.
Let me end the quarter on that one, because that goes into CMC.
All right.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, you're watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around, that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. And we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Let me go to this comment first before I go any further. Damn, Dion, you was first. You must not have been drinking. You see with Jeremiah? That's right, Jeremiah. Get him. Coming at me. I said Al Sabin. You ain't had to point it out. All telling on me. You a snitch, Dion. Y'all telling on me. All right, anyway, Jeremiah said, if Dion was first, he must not have been drinking. How'd you wind up the first person, Dion? What was you doing? What happened? How'd you do that? Dion's never the first person. All right. Anyway, we like to enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So here we go to our Philadelphia Eagles. Dion gives them an overall grade of an A-. I would say the same. And so we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate a brand new class of players. I think Howie did a great job in filling needs that we had, and I think that he filled them with good players. So we just have to, it remains to be seen whether these players can actually play. That's all we're waiting for now. So to our Philadelphia Eagles, down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
That is so good.
Second quarter. Hey guys, Philly did a great job. I like it too, Richard. You need to talk to my co-host right here because he don't like he don't like.
I ain't give my grade yet, so I can't.
All right,
You don't
okay.
know yet. So you
All
want to
right.
talk about Will Shipley? So Will Shipley comes into a position of need. Believe it or not, in college at Clemson, he was a very dynamic running back. He wasn't the CMC of Clemson. He wasn't had that breakaway speed. He was more or less in between a tackle type of runner because that's what they ran him. But he was able to break tackles and he was able to make plays. Remember Danny Amendola? I'm saying his name right for New England.
Yeah.
He reminded me more of that type of player, but he's more physical, right? I think he
Danny Amendola was a wide receiver though.
Yes. Danny
Okay,
Amendola originally was a running back coming out of college.
Oh, okay.
He fits a role in the running back room with Kenny Gainwell, with Saquon Barkley as a more physical running back that can take on the payload that our other two running backs shouldn't have to take on. I know there's another guy we added in the Milton from Georgia and an undrafted free agent, but Will Shipley was touted as the next CMC, but not CMC.
Okay. So the guy that was tagged as the next CMC who's not CMC. Okay.
That's what they said. Literally,
Okay.
if we go back and when he was coming to the college, they said Will Shipley is the next Christian McCaffrey, but he's not Christian McCaffrey. He's him. He's Will Shipley. He's a different type of player. He might not have the breakaway speed like Christian McCaffrey has, but he has some of the ability catching the ball in the out, catching the ball out in the open, making him one move and getting upfield, and not being there to make multiple moves like a Shady McCoy, because Shady McCoy was a different animal. He doesn't have that. He has the ability to make a move, get upfield, get you those yards, and move the chains. That's what you want in a running back. That's really what you want in those type of situational running backs. Will Shipley brings that to our running back room.
All right, let's get a draft grade from you guys out there. I see Doomsday Corner Sports says a B+ and A for the entire offseason. So he's giving us the offseason. Did Howie win the offseason again? Has Howie won the offseason? When Howie wins the offseason, we usually go to the Super Bowl.
Nah.
He won the offseason that year. We went to the Super Bowl.
He won it last year. Remember he won all season last year, and we
he ain't win
crap in the bed.
Yeah, it wasn't his last year off season wasn't good as the year we went to the Super Bowl. That off season he won that one, got AJ Brown. We had a lot of great draft. I mean, a lot of good pickups.
Yeah,
draft
free agents. Our drafts wasn't. I mean, let's be honest. If we want to go back to that draft,
go back to that draft.
I will.
Yeah.
Give me a second because our intern is right there. The intern is
all right.
So
we might have an intern too coming up. All right, I'm gonna go to some comments while you do that. All right, Eternally says, I think it was a good draft too. What's your thoughts on positions you think still needs to be addressed before the season starts? If anything, I mean, I'm okay with what we're going into camp with. Maybe another linebacker. I don't know, but we're going to discuss the linebacker that they picked up in the draft in just a little bit. But that may be it. Do I still want Justin Simmons? I wouldn't mind. I would not mind having Justin Simmons. So he's still out there. So that's still a possibility. So maybe another linebacker or Justin Simmons. But I'm feeling good about who we're going into camp with, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I think we're solid. And we even signed a backup lineman, and we needed some depth there also. Drafted 2 linemen and signed a lineman, a former first-round pick from the Jets. I forget his name right now. Who's the
Mikael Becton?
Oh, Becton. That's right, Becton. We signed Becton, so that gives us, and he may even be competing for that right guard job. So that's great to bring in another body because we need that depth. One of our starters and a depth piece on the offensive line was signed in free agency, so we lost those two. And it's a wonderful thing, man, to have Stoutland on the staff, because that's why these guys get plucked away, because Stoutland takes them through the university, they graduate, and then everybody wants them. Everybody wants our linemen, and they got them. So we have some depth along there. So I feel good going into camp, and I think it was a good draft also. All right, so give me the draft picks from that year that we went to the Super Bowl.
So if you remember, we had 2 draft picks in the first round of the 2022 NFL draft.
All right.
Number 1, we went number 13. We took Jordan Davis out of Georgia.
Yeah.
We traded our next pick and got AJ Brown.
Right. So that was like, that was immediately success. That was a success.
It was a success.
All right.
Our second round pick, number 51
All right.
overall, was Cam Jurgens, who actually stepped in.
That was great.
A solid guard.
Yeah.
Who actually is going to be our starting center for the future. We love his ability, and we see that he has a lot of potential. Then we go into the third round with Nakobe Dean.
Yeah.
Sixth round, because we didn't have a fourth, fifth. We didn't have a pick into the sixth round. Was Kerryon Johnson. And our sixth round, our last and final pick was tight end Grant Carcatiller.
All right, that wasn't bad either. He's gotten on the field. That wasn't bad. I mean, 6th round pick, we don't expect him to be a star. I mean, so he has contributed.
Yeah. We won the all season because we picked up Hassan Reddick.
Right. AJ Brown.
Darius Slay, was coming into the fold. Zach McPherson, who was our slot corner at the time over Avonte Maddox, was playing a very good brand of football. We was able to have Marcus Epps, an undrafted rookie free agent from 2 years ago, before that year, to come and play up to a standard where
he was good.
Where he got a hell of a paycheck.
Yeah.
We got TJ Edwards. TJ Edwards was playing outstanding football. He was playing outstanding football for us. Quez Watkins, believe it or not, was Quez Watkins.
Bad.
So I could talk about him.
Don't mention that name here.
Quez Watkins was playing good football. Kazir White. So our two linebackers was TJ Edwards and Kazir White, who made the field smaller for our defensive line and corners, because they had the ability to go sideline to sideline. So that's what I look for in our linebackers in this season. They go sideline to sideline. We got Devin White. I'm going to talk about this other pick in a minute. Because it's a 5th round draft pick, so we're going to talk about it in a minute. But our linebackers need to pick up that slack in order for us to be successful. Because there's no Fletcher Cox, right? There's no Jason Kelsey.
No.
They're both anchors on each line.
Yes.
Cam Jurgens played here for 2 years. It's time for you to step up. Jordan Davis, it's time for you to be that veteran and step up and be better than you were the past 2 seasons. Live up to that number 1 building that we picked you for number 13 overall. So that was our 2022 draft, man. It wasn't outstanding. Are these key players? Are these players still here with us? Yes, they are. I mean, Nakobe Dean is slated to be a starting linebacker next to White. Grant Carcatiller.
The jury's still out on him, man.
Who? Nakobe Dean?
Yeah, I'm not ready to say he's not. There's a lot of people that are ready to give up on him. I'm not.
I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a very good player, in this type of scheme, because he's gonna be rotated out with our other linebackers. And I would talk about our 5th round pick in a minute. But I think he's going to be he's going to thrive in this type of off defense, if he can stay healthy. Very smart.
All right. Well, we're rooting for that. At least I am. Anyway, let me go to some comments. Anthony A's DeJohn was a steal. Shipley, Keegan, and Wilson were robberies. So he likes all of them. Pat.
So
You might
Will
call him.
Shipley, when we start talking about right now, Will Shipley is one of the best running backs in college football the past 2 seasons. Not only is
And
he,
he's ours.
yeah, he is ours.
Okay.
Not
He
only
played
has
for
he
us.
been consistent, he's been consistent. Let me go back to a stat. I had a stat pulled up over here for him. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Our
Jeremiah says Dean is a bust. He's all right. You ready to go there, Jeremiah? You're not gonna give him any grace. I mean, I'm holding out hope. I'm in the middle. I'm right in the middle. And if you just touch me with your finger, I'll probably be on the bus side. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just nudge me a little bit, I'll probably fall on he's a bust. But I'm going to give him grace. This is the year though. Like if he doesn't make a name for himself, or he doesn't make a splash this year, then,
always boils down to year 3 when after what have you done for us in year 3? Because it takes literally 2 years to adjust to the speed, and that 3rd year is when you turn it on. Some players adjust quicker, other players take a little bit of time. But back to Will Shipley real quick. He has 33 total touchdowns, rushing touchdowns 31. He has 100 yards.
No, I did not. No. Hold on, I'm sorry.
What happened?
I'm sorry. I just saw this comment. No, this is a lie. Jeremiah, I'm not going to call you a liar. But
that was me, Jeremiah. That was me.
I was about to say.
I take it off of Dark Knight.
Where have you been, Jeremiah? I'm the guy who campaigned against Watkins all last year.
He had that 4.2 something speed, but
no,
for some
I
reason,
was ready.
These 4.2 guys, they don't survive in the NFL.
No, I was ready to move on. You don't remember my famous trade that I proposed? I would get rid of Quez for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a tall glass of milk. And that was negotiable. If you just gave me the peanut butter and jelly, I didn't have to have the glass of milk, but you could have had him. That was my whole pitch last year. I did not like Quez. And that was even negotiable. I'd just take the peanut butter sandwich, no jelly. But I did not like Quez. And he's not on the squad anymore, is he?
No, he got picked up with
oh, good. Thank God.
Or something like that. But anyway,
all right.
Back to Will
Dion does agree that Dean is a bust. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Let me Watkins ran a 4.39 No, Watkins actually ran a 4.29. But a 4.29 to a 4.3. Listen, me, you, out there, we're not stopping that. But anyway, there is football.
You don't have to stop because he's not catching the damn ball anyway. It don't matter.
There is football speed. There's track speed, and there is
no hands
that don't run the routes. Like I always said this, Quez Watkins has the speed to be the best receiver in the league. But he never ran his route out. Never. You always look surprised when the ball came to him. But anyway,
that's why I was just about to say that. The moment I saw him in a big game, it wasn't last year. It was maybe
it's like he looked surprised
in the playoffs, and the ball came to him, and his eyes was big as dollar bills. I said, "Oh, he's scared as hell out there." Dude, he was scared of the ball. I said, "Oh, he's never going to be it."
Yo, if he ran all his routes out from the time he came into the pros to the time last year, regardless of his hands or not, if he ran his routes full speed every single time, no corner in this league could cover.
Yeah, but no corner in this league would have to because he wouldn't catch it. All right, let me go to some more comments. Can you really be a bust 2 years after being called a steal in the draft?
No. It takes 3 years. It takes 3 years.
It takes 3. And, when you factor in, and I'm not trying to make a case for Dean because he has not really lived up to his potential.
Brandon Graham. We got on the team.
Brandon Graham, it took him a lot of years. And had we given up on Brandon Graham around this time of his career, we would not have a all-time Philadelphia Eagle. Because Brandon Graham is now all-time Philadelphia Eagle.
He is all-time.
And it's only because we were patient with him. So I don't know if this is the case with Dean. I don't know. But he's got another year. He has another year to prove himself,
You got
and
to.
another defensive coordinator. So hopefully they can put him in the right position, coach him up, and he can return to that player that we thought we were picking when we drafted him in the 3rd round, when we thought that was a steal.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony A says Dean is a stud. Just give him time to shine. But Eagles fans don't have no patience. Also, too, these players are young. Yes, they are. Dion is a little frisky now. So Dion, he has had his drink. You can tell just by this comment. Damn that. I ran a 4.3 and I'm here and taking shots.
Hey, Dion, hold on. Wait
So
a
much for
minute,
that.
Dion. I'm taking shots too. I ran a 4.35. All right. My fastest 40 ever was a 4.35. I listen. I know. I filled in my bones that I could cover any receiver out there except Randy Moss. That's the only receiver I always said I could never cover. Right? But damn it.
He said, don't wait me, Pat. Damn it. I chose hoops over basketball. Yeah, Dion he has a throwback picture of him playing basketball. Was you pulling up in a jump shot, if I recall? He was pulling a jump shot up. Looked like it was wet.
Hey, Dion, I played against Kobe.
Follow through.
I played against Kobe, but we didn't know he was Kobe then. He was just a bald head.
All right.
Black kid.
Yeah, Sean says if a guy has a 5th round grade and your GM takes him in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, he's not a bust. Your GM is a bust. All right. JT is in the house.
That's Jalen
show up. He had a chip. All right, yeah. I hope he shows up too, man. I mean, there was one game, I think it was against the Indianapolis Colts in his rookie year, where he had to come in and take over for Kazir White. I remember that game vividly, and he was a tackling machine that game. And I don't know what has happened since then. Maybe because the offense had not schemed for him, and last year when they had, or when he got significant more snaps early in the season, he just didn't shine like that. And it's not over. We'll see what he does in training camp. We'll see what he does if he has because he came into training camp last year with the green dot, right?
He still
got the green dot. So he had the green dot, and he still has it.
Yes, he still has it.
All right, so Fangio believes in him. So all of my trust is in our defensive coordinator. He's the one with the most experience at doing this. He's taken over, and he can't. He did well with Denver last year, right? Yeah. And Miami. I'm sorry, Miami. He did well with Miami.
He did all he could do with all the injuries that I was going to say Miami. He did all he could do with everything that the Miami Dolphins had when all these injuries they had. They had both defensive ends go down. They had both corners go down. Yeah. Believe it or not, I think Xavier Howard is still a free agent. Like, you still got Justin Simmons a free agent. Like, these guys went down, and Darrell Green ran a 4.3 at a 50. Darrell Green is a alien. Okay, stop.
At 50. So what he's saying is 4.3 is not anything to brag about.
Hey, I'm not coming at you.
He said, "Google my boy. Google your boy."
I'm not coming at
the hoopster.
I'm not coming at your athletics at all, because there are a lot of people walking around here that you never know. There are pro Hall of Famers, college Hall of Famers that was that was him back in the day. I would never do that. I ran into that person. I ran into multiple people that were him. When they say him with a capital HIM, I ran into multiple people that were him. And I have much respect to anybody that played this sport, any kind of sport, and did it at a collegiate level, even a high school level, and did it on a Hall of Fame level on those levels. So I respect you, Dion. You never get no disrespect from me. Nobody get any disrespect from me, because
damn, why I put that up there? Stop it! Don't be coming at Dion. I should never put that up there. And stop starting that. And stop it. Stop starting trouble.
Yeah, congratulations, man.
No. I'm
thing,
always going to hold down the Hoopers. I'm a Hooper, so I'm going to hold down the Hoopers.
Yeah, I'm mad at you, right?
How we go get them guys on veteran minimum? Yeah, he does. Yeah, he go get those guys on veteran minimum. All right, let me put in the rest of the draft because I couldn't fit them
Let me
all
let me
on
get let me
one.
get this last one and we'll ship.
Oh yeah, my fault. We didn't even talk about.
Yeah, so
All right,
Will
so
Shipley.
in the fifth round, our Philadelphia Eagles bought one of our own home,
Let me do this
and
before
it
we
was
go. We
very
go. We
tough.
gotta get him. You got him. Give him his whole aura. So I want to do this
Okay,
with Will Shipley real quick before we go into that
we
pick.
still talk about Will Shipley.
You know, let me
Damn.
get this out because
All
you
right,
gotta
go ahead.
talk
I
about
thought
this
you
for
started even
three.
talking
It's
about him for
okay.
10 minutes.
I didn't even talk
What you
about him,
talking about more than you didn't talk about? He was CMC without being CMC.
but I give
You
you the
didn't talk
yardage
about
though.
him for like 15 minutes.
But we
You
got
talked about Will Shipley more than you talked about Q. What the heck is going on with this? Who is this guy?
because I really
Can
like
we
Will
get on?
Shipley. Will
Look,
Shipley's gonna be a
that's
player.
enough. All right, we want to
This
talk
black
about
this
our.
boy, I tell you, man, this player is
Yeah,
really damn good.
that's where it's at. All right, let's end this quarter. So
I don't waste a single drop. You see how you do that? You don't waste a single drop.
yeah, you and
And
Dion are
that's
in that
the
club.
end of the quarter.
All right, that's the end of the third quarter. You are watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. Is by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. And we talk about Will Shipley a lot. So here we go. Everybody out there, let's celebrate our Philadelphia Eagles and this great draft that they had, man. Everybody down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
Hey JT, I started grilling today, man.
Oh man. All right, let's talk about our fifth round pick because that was near and dear to our heart. The Sandlin boys, especially Pat. I mean, not Pat. Shell. Shell wanted us to choose this guy in the first round, which I thought was ludicrous. Is Ludacris going to come popping out like the State Farm commercial? All right. I thought it was ludicrous that he wanted to choose this guy in the first round, but he was very high on this linebacker. Him being a former linebacker himself, he wanted this guy. And loving his father, as we all do, because he was a Philadelphia Eagle, we chose Jeremiah Trotter Jr., and I think that was near and dear to everybody's heart. Everybody, I think, wants to see him here, right? Me included. I didn't want to see him here before he was supposed to be chosen. Like I did not want to see him chosen in the first round or any round before he was chosen. Fifth round was a great spot in my eyes to choose him. And now we have him here, and we'll see if, because he's All-American. He played at a high level in Clemson. And hopefully he'll come home and make the same impact on this defense that his father did many years ago. So what are you guys' thoughts on us bringing home one of our own, the child of one of our own, Jeremiah Trotter Jr.? Pat?
So I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told Sheldon. There was a guy in the third round by the name of Peyton Wilson that I thought we got in the third round, who we compared with Jeremiah Trotter in the fourth round, but our GM decided to trade back multiple times. Jeremiah Trotter has been nothing but outstanding since the moment he got on the football field. He's been trying to live up to Jeremiah Trotter, his father's shadow, since the moment he got on the football field. The first time I seen him when he was with St. Joe's Preparatory Charter or St. Joe's Prep, I was like, all right, he's a faster JT, smaller. Bless you.
Mm-hmm.
He became a 2021 All-American in high school. He was an All-American and went to Clemson from Philadelphia. He had many offers. In Clemson, he amassed over 3 years over 190 tackles, 29 tackles for loss, and over 13 sacks and 4 interceptions total in those 3 years, with 2 total touchdowns. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is not the imposing size of his father. He's not 6'1", 260, running downhill, knocking you out. No, that's not who he is. He's 6 foot 230, sideline to sideline. And when you have a defensive front in front of you, he can get you to hello, hey. He can make the play that we always ask our linebackers to make. When TJ Edwards was here, he missed on average one tackle a season. On average, one tackle a season. When we ask our linebackers to be true linebackers, we ask them to step up to our offensive linemen, fill those gaps, make tackles, and don't miss tackles, don't miss plays. Jeremiah Tyler Jr. has that ability to be the next starter if N'Kobe Dean is not doing his thing.
That's great. I'm sorry.
Will he get his play on special teams? Most definitely. Most definitely. In the NFL compound, he did not run. We talked about this, right? He didn't run on NFL compound. He ran his pro day. It was a 4.8 that he ran. But it's a difference between track speed and football speed. You could run like an AJ Brown or 4.5 or 4.4 in the 40. But when you catch that ball or you're tracking somebody, your speed on the football field is much different than what it is when you got nothing but tights on. I hope Trot can live up to the expectations that we as Philadelphia Eagle fans have for him, because we have a whole lot of expectations for this young man. And I really hope that he can live up to those expectations, at least halfway up to those expectations. Be who you are, be yourself, and go out there and do what you have done continuously over the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, you mentioned something that's very important to this team because we lacked it last year, and that was the ability to tackle last year. This team was a poor tackling defensive team, and some in our secondary even looked afraid to tackle. So if you're telling me that he's a solid tackler, that is going to be a welcome addition to this defensive unit this year. We need thumpers. And I'm okay that he's not his dad's side. This is not his dad's era of football anymore. We don't have those type of big linebackers like that. We need athletic linebackers, those that can thump and cover, because this is the league that these are the days that we're living in now. This is a passing league. So your linebackers have to be not only great tacklers, but they have to cover ground and they have to cover also. And he has the athletic build to do that. He has the speed to do that. And if he is a sure tackler, yes, I'm with Jeremiah here. Hello, Jay. I'm Trotter Jr. Goodbye, Buster D. If that is the case, if he is a tackler like that, then I welcome him to the defense. I welcome all of those that we are talking about. We're talking about the two secondary pieces. Both of those guys are put their heads down and bring the ball carrier down type of people. I like that. You're saying Jeremiah Tryer is a thumper also. I love that. Anybody who can tackle that's added to this defense, they are okay with me. They're at the top of my list. This defense has got to be better than last year, and it shouldn't be a tough thing to do because they were horrible last year. So there's only one way to go, but up. If we are on the same level as we were last year or worse, then that's not going to be a good thing. We can't get any worse than last year. So I can't wait to see what Fangio does with the new pieces that he has on defense. And we were going through the offseason, right? And we saw all these offensive moves, Saquon Barkley and such. We saw these people being picked up on offense, and we were impressed by that. But our defense is what is the side of the ball that needed the most help, right? And we saw that addressed in the draft. So hopefully we have some young players that can step in immediately and make significant contributions to this defense, because that's what we are going to need to see if we're going to have a chance. But, my other thing, another path for us to win is we can just outscore people. We have that type of offense. We have those type of players on offense, and I can't wait to see what Kellen Moore does with the pieces or this offense that was handed to him. He's been handed the keys to a Ferrari, And I can't wait to see if he's going to go
Um,
all gas, no brakes, because we didn't see that last. We had an offensive coordinator last year who was handed the keys
I
to
gotta
the
stop you.
Ferrari.
I gotta stop you real quick. I gotta stop
What?
you. I'm sorry. There is an opportunity for Justin Simmons to sign with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you can stop me for that.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stop you. I apologize. I apologize, Dark Knight. You was going your thing, but I just saw something about Justin Simmons possibly signing with the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, that's great. That is great. Hopefully that will take place. But to finish my thought,
I'm sorry.
we had an offensive coordinator last year that was handed the keys to a Ferrari, and he went all brakes, no gas. He was all brakes, no gas. So hopefully we have an offensive coordinator this year that takes those same keys to the same Ferrari. Actually, this Ferrari is a newer model. It's faster than last year's Ferrari because we added Saquon Barkley. And I want to see all gas, no brakes. You don't get in a Ferrari and do the speed limit. You don't drive a Ferrari and do 25. You get in the Ferrari and you get on the highway and you open it up. And that's the kind of machine or the kind of vehicle our offense is this year. We have one of arguably the best offenses when you look at it on paper. I mean, what other offense is that great? I mean, maybe Houston. Houston has they added some
Houston
good
got a little
pieces over in
talent.
Houston.
They got a
Yeah,
lot of
they got
talent
some
down there.
talent. Right. And San Fran, they do some magnificent things with CMC and that the quarterback position leaves a little bit desired, but
Yeah.
they have some nice pieces. But whose offense would you say was better than the one that we have here in Philadelphia? So he's and I like Kellen Moore. I like what he did, and I hate to say it, I like what he did when he was at Dallas. They stayed at the top of the league in scoring and yards gained. So if he can do that with this offense, that may be our road to victory. A lot of victories this year until this defense, unless Fangio just works incredible magic. And like I said, it can't be any worse than last year's defense because they literally they weren't there. Were they? I failed to even see them sometimes.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Last year, our coordinators sucked. They were terrible. All right, and putting our players in the best positions.
Shut up, Ant. Ant, stop. Shut up.
I'll tell you
I have one Ferrari. I have
Yes.
one. The Philadelphia Eagles offense. That's my Ferrari.
No, he's gonna get one because I'm gonna buy one. But anyway, the thing about it is, yes, I want to see these coordinators turn this Ford Escape into the Lamborghini Diablo. There you go. Forget it, Ferrari, Lamborghini. Let's turn this to a Lamborghini. But back to some picks that we talked about before we go to the fourth quarter. We skipped over because we ranked Jeremiah Trotter, but we didn't mention Aeneas Smith, the wide receiver from Texas A&M.
Oh, did I miss him? He's not even on the list. I must have missed him.
It's all good because you know what? He's going to be a kick.
Oh yeah, I did.
So Will Shipley and Aeneas Smith is making it easier for us to get rid of Brenton Covey and Boston Scott. Not resigning them, all right? Because that's what they did in school. Then we got offensive guard from Michigan, who won a national championship, Trevor Keegan.
On the screen right now.
There you go. 6'5", 310 pounds. He's a guard. He's huge. He's a huge human being. After him, we picked up a big pause. No Diddy. We picked up a bigger human being, and Johnny Wilson, who is a wide receiver at 6'7", 231 pounds, who ran a 4.5.
Yo, that's good.
6'7". Dark Knight. You don't understand. A 6'7", 230 guy running a 4.5. That's the equivalent of somebody at 5'10" running a 4 flat.
Wow, that is incredible. All right, so Carmichael, yeah, Brother Wood, yeah, he's Carmichael. I've heard that. So yeah, we can use that.
You got to play. You got to work it out. You got to play. You can't just go off the stats alone. You got to be out there. You got to be working your butt off, and you got to do the damn thing because Johnny Wilson can be a doggone good football player. Dark Knight. He had good things in when he was with Florida State. I think he had 600 total yards his last year. But in the NFL, he might be moved to the move tight end type. So you might not be the wide receiver that we're looking at. He might be an outside type tight end ish. But he has to make the most of his ability against a smarter competition.
And we hope that he does that. Let's end this quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so you're watching Eagles Talk post-draft show and the most unique Eagles coverage show around that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And we're talking about what the Eagles did in last week's draft. And we're doing so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. And as I said before, your adult beverage is anything an adult is drinking. So my adult beverage is this energy drink tonight. And this the Rehab Monster. Pat is indulging in the Blanton's bourbon. And Dion.
One a quarter.
All right. Dion, what are you drinking, Dion? Let me know out there. And let me know you guys let me know what you're drinking out there. So here's to Howie, the talent evaluation staff, and everybody down at the NovaCare Center that helped this draft to be a success, at least in our eyes. We still have to wait and see if these guys can play. But here's to them. Let's raise a toast to them, to our Philadelphia Eagles, and a great draft. Down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Dion said Pat on tilt.
Yo, it did creep up on me.
Oh, no, you're not. You are not drinking that, Dion. You are not drinking that right now. Booker's 128 proof.
I would drink that with you. I would drink that with you, Dion. You know,
no, he just name dropping. He is not drinking that. You know, Dion is he's a little boozy. Dion boozy. He name dropping right there. He's just boozy.
So,
all right.
So I want to go to this comment. I want to go to this one comment that we have here from Richard Layton. Right.
All right, go ahead.
Because I did watch film on Patrick. I say Patrick Layton. Who the heck am I talking about? On Johnny Wilson. I did watch film on Johnny Wilson. Yes, Florida State did use him in the slot because of his ability of him being available far as the size-wise against a linebacker or a safety. He necessarily didn't have the separation speed against those slot corners or anything like that. He did have pretty good separation when it comes to running routes against linebackers and safeties. But when he was matched up with a corner, it's pretty much just throw the ball up to a 6'7" guy compared to a guy that's 6 foot. And, you know, that's just like, you know, I'm 6'7", I'm 6 foot, and you're gonna throw the ball up to Charles Barkley, who's 6'4". Like he might out jump me this play. Next play, I might get him. So that's what it is. And Johnny Wilson, you know, he has some very good traits as a wide receiver. But truthfully, I think he'd be better suited in the NFL as a move tight end. If he gains a little bit pound, learn how to block, be more productive on the line of scrimmage, he could be very productive in that role.
Man, let him be who he is. Throw the ball up. I mean, just throw him a jump ball. What are you talking about?
We said that before. We had many receivers that were 6'5", 6'6", and these receivers weren't getting separation or not even going up and getting the ball from these corners. We had this. We had a receiver from Iowa State, and I thought was going to be an outstanding receiver, right? His name is Hakeem.
Look, he said you got to split him out like Zach was.
See, Zach,
split him out.
He learned how to run routes. Zach Ertz learned how to run routes. These receivers that come in this league, they have to understand the concept of running the routes and being open in the NFL and not catching the ball in their chest, catching the ball with their hands, getting to where they need to be at, ain't moving and change. That's what you got to understand in this NFL, because in college football, a lot of these corners not reacting like these NFL corners are reacting. And it's a shock to the system when you go run a slant route, and the corner is right there with you, patting the ball down.
Yeah.
Because in college, you ran a slant and the corner wasn't there, but now in the NFL, corner is on your ass. So
Yeah.
yes, I'm good, man. This is Blanton's. Listen,
Blanton's done crept. Let me put that comment up there. Hat on tilt. Blanton done crept up on his ass. Blanton's done crept on his ass.
yes.
All right, look, we gonna get out of here.
Hey,
'cause
Dark
we got
Knight.
a big game tonight. Big game tonight.
I'm not watching that game.
those-
It's just like when we had the Shell with the
What
we-
did he bring
we
that
did-
time? Oh my God, that was like 100 proof.
Yeah, it was 100 proof.
It was 100 proof.
We was looking at each other like this. Yo, what are you
Yo,
doing? What are you
Yeah,
doing?
we was.
What you mean?
Yo. Yeah, I remember that. He bought 100 proof liquor for us to shoot on the.
Oh, we got
air.
one more player. We got one more player to talk about real quick.
All right, that was the last time we allowed him to do that. We was like, oh, we can't do
no,
that.
we can't. We
can't
got
do that.
So we talked about Johnny Wilson, Anais Smith, Jeremiah Trotter, Taylor Keegan from offensive guard from Michigan, he's going to be an offensive guard. Pat, you tried
I said,
that. Shay.
I said,
I didn't
Pat,
try.
Coach Pat
I'm
got
trying to
that
get
lean.
that. Yo, that you know how much that Shay costs now? That Shay Sharp cognac.
Oh,
It
my
went for-
man got a bottle. He got 2 bottles of that, and he got it signed by Shannon Sharp when he
It
was
went
in
for
the area.
$43 to $99.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
one more
Shay
player
Shay.
we regarded to talk about Dylan Mahorn, offensive lineman from North Carolina, 6'3", 299. He played snaps at center, guard, left guard, so both guard positions. He's pretty much a Swift Army knife for the Wolfpack. So he's going to be a swing guy for us. Excuse me. So at the end of the draft, we got what we wanted in the beginning of the draft: offensive linemen to replace these guys. Jason Kelsey. So we were able to get, truthfully, I'll be honest with you, Dark Knight, Trevor Keegan, the offensive guard from Michigan. He should have gone in the first 3 rounds.
Wow. All right, so that's really good because we know how Stoutland coaches these linemen up.
He
You
did
know,
not
he can
allow
take-
a sack last
He
year.
takes average talent and turns them into Pro Bowlers. So imagine what he's going to do with above average talent, such as Trevor Keegan. So I'm looking forward to that. And you know, Stout is just as valuable as some of these picks are because it affords us to not have to, you know, in a year like this where we were hard pressed to fulfill some other position needs, it allow us the flexibility or the luxury of grabbing some solid linemen later in the draft, knowing that we have a coach that can develop them into players. So that's a great luxury to have. So I love Stoutland. I love Stoutland University. He's done it before, and I'm sure he will do it with this group of young men. The center that we picked in the 6th round, Dylan McMahon and Keegan. So that is great. But we're going to wrap it up because we have a big game tonight. For those, I know everyone on here are Eagles fans, and not everyone on here are Sixers fans. But we
Dark
are.
Knight,
So we have a big game tonight.
Before you go, I gotta let
Yes.
you know the reason I'm drinking this bottle because I got 2 more over there.
Okay.
So if you don't know anything about Blanton's have when you buy Blanton bottles, they spell out Blanton. So I have B-A, and I got another T bottle over there or something like that. So this is the first bottle I have, and yes, I'm drinking it. And it's good, and it's really, really, really good. Yes,
All
it
right.
is, Richard. It is. It is Blanton's that I'm drinking. It's not a fake one. I can get it is real.
All right. Yeah, we could tell by the way you're slurring. All right. Okay. So we're going to wrap it up tonight, man. We thank everybody for coming back because we're going to be on more regularly now that the draft is over.
We get our draft grades.
Oh, all right. Give your draft, Pat. All right, give your damn good draft grade so I can get out of here.
All right, I'm gonna give a solid A because I appreciate what they did, and even though I talk smack about Jalen Hood, I think he's going to be a diamond in the rough for us. Trevor Keaton is going to be a very good role player on the offensive line. He's going to be outstanding for a guard position and maybe even a backup center. And I think Cooper DeJean and Q Mitchell, they're going to be the next future of our defensive backfield, like we did when we had Sheldon Brown and Lito Shepherd.
And I give it an A myself. I think that he did a good job in filling positions of need. We have a couple diamonds in rough, possible diamonds in the rough. Trevor Keegan Jr. and your man that you talked about most of this program, Shipley. I think they are going to be contributors and diamonds in the rough.
Yes.
And we have some nice and it all depends on, as always, whether these guys can play. So hopefully they come in and they are the players that we hope that they would be when we selected them. So I'm your man, Dark Knight, with my co-host with the co-most, because he had the co-most Blantons tonight, and he's feeling it. We're out of here, man. We'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the game tonight. Go Sixers. Peace.
We go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback whack, yo, sack that fool. Hit him, hit him.